Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. You're listening to A New Day, and we're your hosts, Juicy J.
Oh, you got the extra on there today. And Mr. Bay. And we are here today. We're going to be talking about inappropriate sex.
It's time to break the hex. But before we get started, we're going to do a little bit of self-promotion here. So we're going to talk about Blue Crew. So how's Blue Crew been doing this past week?
Oh, man. Blue Crew has been really, it's kind of a little bit slow out there in the workforce. And we are actually regrouping a little bit because we're seeing some changes in the industry. And we want to try to be a part of the change and kind of be ahead of the curve. So recently we've been getting prepared to launch our training program.
Yes.
So getting things in preparation for that. And for a nonprofit that's going to be soon established. So we're really focused on getting those things established for the future of the Blue Crew.
Definitely exciting.
Yeah, so I want to, are you done? I'm not done.
No, I'm not done.
Okay, so anyways, as far as the Blue Crew is concerned, we pretty much stay busy for the most part. But at this point, like I said, it's fall. It's time now. People are getting back to school, so business kind of slows down. And then right before the holidays, it gets crazy again. Everybody wants everything done yesterday. So, right now it's like the calm before the storm. So we're actually preparing ourselves for that storm. And so that we can see our way into the future, for the future of what the Blue Crew is doing. So stay tuned, people. There always is more to come. And we're going to be sharing with you as we progress the work we're doing out there in the community. We actually got a meeting this week coming up that we're going to be attending with the community organization along with the city of Charlotte in regards to our next program that we're going to be partnering with the ERTL Foundation to do more work in the community for our seniors. So that's on the horizon. So that's where we kind of headed. More service. And, as they say, as I like to say, when it's time for service, it's no time for nervous. And so along with that, that's it. That's all I want to share right now. I do want to get in this topic. I think it's an important topic, especially for today. We just had this verdict come in on Bill Cosby. And, we titled this segment, this show, what we did because in our community, there's a lot of things that are going on with our youth and with our elders and inappropriate sex, a lot of things going on in the media, period, regarding sex scandals and things like that. So we today want to talk about those things and maybe try to bring forth some solutions, if you will, see if we can have the conversation because it needs to be had.
Absolutely. Well, before we really get into this segment, we want to definitely thank our sponsors for the show, Fortress Network, LLC.
Oh, yes. And, we can't wait to have Fortress come back on the show. Everybody out there, we keep talking about Fortress, but we really are working to set this business opportunity up so we can bring it to the masses. I feel like it's really a godsend opportunity for the average person to be able to take part in some in the opportunity that can afford them to live, change their lives financially.
Absolutely.
With a minimal
investment.
Really with minimal investment. It's almost like too good to be true, but I do want to take some more time out in the future to really share with people and we're going to be starting hosting meetings in the Charlotte area so we can bring it to the community because right now it's like a sleeping giant. A lot of people don't know about it, and we want to educate people on the opportunities that are available now in this economy and where it's headed in the future, how we can secure our financial security without depending on going to get a job or high startup costs for businesses. Most businesses, you need money to run business now. So.
Absolutely. Some type of capital to be established. And just to piggyback off of that, we will be doing the meetings here in Charlotte. But for those that are not here based in Charlotte, we are trying to set up webinars and some Zoom broadcasts so that you guys can come in as well if you're not in the Charlotte area.
Oh, yes. And we're global. So, we're definitely going to be doing more video interaction, more webinars, and because we don't want to be like, we want to educate people. We don't want to be like other network marketing companies. We want to show people how you can utilize the same thing you're doing now, but through social media and get paid, whether you're a business or you just a person that's looking for a residual income.
Right.
So thank God for Fortress and what they've been doing for us. Since then, it's really shown me how we can change the program of our people. And, like what we do out in the world, painting. I've been painting for 20 years. And I've never ran across an opportunity that could afford me to be able to make the kind of money as if I was in the business, but with little to no effort.
Right.
So I'm really excited about that.
Yes, it's definitely going to be an exciting time as we bring that in. So, inappropriate sex.
Yes.
It's time to break the hex.
So
how do you want to start this conversation off? Because I know this is going to be a nice, interesting conversation today. So, I don't know. I think I want to start off with Bill Cosby.
Yeah, you could talk about Bill's.
Let's talk about Bill for a little bit.
And
how do you feel about that?
Wow. Well, as far as the case, I'll be honest, I have not really followed the case because I really don't watch the news like that. Mm-hmm. But I do pay attention to headlines because, sometimes you got to read between the lines. And just because I don't watch TV doesn't mean I'm not in the know about so many others that have been involved in sex scandals.
Right.
I mean, you got the Kavanaugh thing going on with Trump. It's just too many to list. And on top of that, just recently in the last week, I actually personally heard about 2 incidences where a young man was basically interacting inappropriately with a 15-year-old. He was 21.
Okay.
And then in another instance where one of my brothers who, I won't mention names, but he shared with me in an organization that he's working with that it's a youth program for young men.
For young men, okay.
And it's come to find out one of the young men, I think it's a co-ed program actually, but I have to be sure about that. But nevertheless, it was a young man who was, I want to say 17 and dealing with a 12-year-old child. So trying to have sex. Mm-hmm. And so as far as the Bill Cosby situation here, this is a little different because it wasn't underage people that I know of
right.
that were involved. These were grown women. Understand there might have been some drugs involved and things like that. But nevertheless, the fact that he just got sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison. 10 years.
3 to 10 years in prison.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, it's something.
Bill Cosby is like 83 years old, I think, 83, 84, somewhere along those lines.
Yeah, I really, I kind of, it's like when you talk about sexuality and, I mean, it really could put you, it's a lot of people, you'll be surprised how many people have experienced some type of sexual trauma from a very young age. Mm-hmm. And they go throughout their lives and they never talk about it. Or even you have grown women that are raped or somebody might have, made a sexual advance towards them and it really was kind of demeaning or whatever. And they just because they deal with it so much, they just kind of it goes unreported. And so as far as Bill Cosby, I mean, here it is, this man. I mean, we grew up watching him from Fat Albert to the Huxtables, and now all of a sudden, it's this guy who's on TV, has this great image, but behind closed doors, he may have some sexual issues demons that's been coming out. And I think a lot of those skeletons in the closet, the closet's starting to rattle from the bones that's waking up, and people are coming to see like, hey, we got a problem, not just in America, but globally in regards to inappropriate things in regarding to sex. And we can go into a lot of different areas. I mean, we probably could talk about this from here to next year.
Right.
And still not cover everything as far as psychologically how these things play out in our society. And I just think now is a time for us to really start talking about those things, stop sweeping things under the rug, and people that are out there, the predators out there, along with the victims, they need help. I don't agree with, kill them and all that kind of stuff. Like people, they want to castrate the men and all those type of things. I really think that it's something that has to be dealt with from a child, but those adults who haven't dealt with that childhood, they need to seek counsel, a wise counsel, and try to alleviate from those type of behaviors, because it's really inappropriate. And I'm personally, I don't want nothing that don't want me, and I'm not going to be setting my eyes on children and things like that, things that happen out there every day. So
okay. Well,
I said a mouthful.
I think you said a mouthful on that one. So when we come back, we're going to continue our discussion on inappropriate sex.
It's time to break the hex.
You're listening to WDRB Media, the voice of your community. You're listening to A New Day, and we're your hosts, Juice CJ.
Oh, man. And Mr. Bay, she got an extra juice today. Okay.